Because I've helped people with IRS debt before get their passport. But I didn't quite use this case called Kent versus Dules. I don't know how that's spelled. 357 US 116 1958. You share the screen. And yeah, when I say I'm a bad boy, I say that. I don't say it to brag. I just say it because that's the confidence I had. I've had so much success with stuff. It's, it's become a real habit. And I know trash when I see it. Okay, Kent versus Deuce, 357 US 116. This case happened because a guy tried to get his passport and he was denied a passport because they accused him of being a communist. That's why he couldn't get his passport. So it says syllabus. At a time when an act of Congress required a passport for foreign travel by citizens of a state of a national emergency had been declared by the president, and when the proclamation necessary to make the act effective have been made, the Secretary of State denied passports to petitioners because of the alleged communist beliefs and associations and their refusal to file affidavits concerning present or past membership in the Communist Party. So they said alleged. So they were being accused. And so basically the secretary was just saying, you can't get one because I believe you're a communist and you won't file an affidavit to the contrary. Isn't that kind of, they looking for an affidavit saying who you are? Even on the passport application right now, it says sign, they want something, an explanatory statement. They don't call it an affidavit, but they say explanatory statement. Or you will be looked at as a U.S. citizen. Isn't that interesting? Held, the secretary was not authorized to deny the passports for these reasons under Act of July 3rd, 1926, 22 U.S.C. Section 211A or Section 215 of the Immigration and Nationality Act of 1952, 8 U.S.C. Section 1185, 357 U.S. 117, 130. So I would suggest you read these different nationality acts. It's always good information in these things, right? So, A, the right to travel is a part of the liberty of which a citizen cannot be deprived without due process of law under the Fifth Amendment. So, what does the Fifth Amendment say? What does that say? I should know what it is. Okay, let's get the actual. Here it is. Fifth Amendment: no person shall be held, excuse me, to answer for capital or otherwise infamous crime unless on a presentment of indictment of a grand jury, except in cases arising in the land or naval forces, or in the militia. When in actual service in time of war or public danger, nor shall any person be subject for the same offense to be twice put in jeopardy of life or limb, nor shall be compelled in any criminal case to be a witness against himself, nor be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. So it's saying right here, I'm sorry, I didn't share that screen. Let me so y'all can see this. Hang on. Nor be deprived of life, liberty, or property without this due process of law. Nor shall private property be taken for public use without just compensation. The key word is liberty. Liberty. So in order for someone to deprive you your right to travel, you must have due process of law. And what is due process? You have to go before a court of competent jurisdiction, tried, need to be heard. Your side need to be heard. The other side needs to be defend its cause on why you shouldn't have your passport. And then a decision is made. So how is that happening when they just say you cannot get your passport because you owe this debt? What court of competent jurisdiction has deemed you uh not to be able to get a passport? Who have deemed you unfit? What court order is there? They just wrote in some statute saying that if the IRS commissioner certifies you this, that, and the other. When have you had time to even go to court over that? See, I'm basically telling y'all how to fight that and win. I'm showing you how to fight this. So to all of you guys with IRS debts and even child support debts, when did they go to court and say, get a court order, you cannot get a passport because you didn't pay your child support? And you owe over. That's one of the biggest things that keep guys from getting passports. No one. You've been deprived of your right to due process. And you basically could challenge the secretary who issues the passport with this case. So let's keep reading. The right to travel is part of a liberty of which citizens cannot be deprived without process of law under the Fifth Amendment. The broad power of the secretary under 22 U.S.C. Section 211A to issue passports, which has long been considered discretionary, has been construed generally to authorize the refusal of passport only when the applicant is not a citizen or person owing allegiance to the United States, or two, was engaging in criminal or lawful activity. See, the court hesitates to impute to Congress when in 1952 it made a passport necessary for foreign travel and left its issuance to the discretion of the Secretary of State, a purpose to give him unbridled discretion to withhold a passport from a citizen for any substantive reason for he may choose. D, no question concerning the exercise of war powers involved in this case. E, if a citizen's liberty to travel is to be regulated, it must be pursuant to the lawmaking functions of Congress. Any delegation of power must be subject to adequate standards and such. So now is what are you going to do? You heard what I had to say? And most of all, let's keep it real. I'm only repeating what you've already said to yourself. That's why you're here. That's why you tune in every week. Yeah, I'm only repeating what you already said to yourself. I'm not saying anything new. I might be saying it in a different way. I might be saying it in a different tone. I might be saying it with some force differently. But for the most part, your spiritual self has been knocking you over the head, telling you, hey, what you doing? Hey, 3 o'clock in the morning, get up. Write that thing, that inspirational thought you had. Write it down. Or go act on it. And what do? You look at that clock, turn over, I'll get it later and go to sleep. Akiem, how you know? How you know? You in my bedroom? You can see us? You spying on us? No. I ain't got to spy on you. I ain't got to know. I know how we are. I know what we really are, and we all operate the same way. We come from the same designer. We come from the same designer who designed us to be spiritual and powerful and divine. And the way we get our inspiration is when everybody's calmed down and all the negative energy is subsided. That's when, in the wee hours of the night, is when God can really speak to you and get you in that corner and start to talk to you. That's what happens. How you know I can't? Because it happens to me all the time. And a lot of times I listen, and then sometimes I don't. And I always regret when I don't. And that static are being sacrificed, and that's if your stuff's not available, they can't hear it. Sometimes you got to feel your way through the dark, and I struggled all the way up into the minute. Peace, prosperity, and extreme wealth to all you guys.
This is Hindsight Radio. I represent it, the information station changing the nation.
Peace, everybody. Can y'all hear me? Make sure my mic. Yeah, there we go. Wasn't sounding like I was making a good connection there. Yeah. Hang on. All right. How's that sound, everybody? Good. Let me check my chat. Everybody put my I'm just typing something in the chat for y'all. Everybody says it sounds great. Good, good. I know my headphones are sounding. Usually I could hear myself come back. Okay, there we go. That was the issue. Um. Okay, thank you everybody that said it sounds good. Appreciate that. Who's on? We got greetings, Jody Stickamo. That's a new name. Welcome to the show. C King Bay is in there. DJOJ, DJJOJ says peace, Sunday inspiration. Corinne says happy Sunday, everyone. And Indie Circle Ministry says peace, my brother. Peace back to you and the family. Oh, man, it's May 5th already. The month is well on the way. We're a week into the month already. And Javier has the I guess that strength sign. I'm not sure what these emojis be meaning, so I don't want to say what it is. He says, I'll put it, he said blessings. And I'll say peace, prosperity, and extreme wealth to all. So it's May 5th. We're in month 5 of the year, and it seemed like it was just yesterday when we started the new year. I say that every week, that it sounds, oh, I say that every week, that the month, every month, every week is another opportunity for you to pick up where you left off. If you have not been consistent. Don't be disappointed about, hey, I didn't do it this week, or I didn't do it this week, this day, or I didn't do it this minute. Don't look at that, because that keeps you stuck and you'll keep repeating the same cycle. Just when you realize it, stop, pick up where you left off, do something. And that, to be honest, that's going to be consistently be consistent throughout your journey of trying to improve yourself, because we're so indoctrinated since we were born into a lifestyle that doesn't bring us the success that we want. But the more you do something, the more you repeat it, it becomes a habit. So just the moment you realize it, that's not a time to put it off. I'll do it later. That's the time for you to do it now. When you think about it in that moment, that's the time to start. Because what'll happen? Oh man, I need to do better. And then you say, well, I'll do better later, and later never comes. So I always say we live in this moment. We all we have is this opportunity to make any changes is always now. It's never later. It's never later, does not exist. That's a figment of your imagination. This is why this system, all of the little groups, what they call secret societies, they teach themselves the real information on how to prosper, how to be successful. And they also, in their groups, don't want you to know what I'm telling you. They don't want you to know that time is a figment of our imagination. Well, how do we organize our day? We have to do this and do that. Yes, you do have to take opportunity here. Well, I'm going to do it this time. I'm going to do this and do that. You do need to do that. Be focused on that. But realize you're still operating somewhat in a fictional mindset that you have time. You don't have time. All you have is now. That's it. Whatever you decide to do after this show is over is what you're going to do. And that's all it's going to be. What you decide to do at that moment. The the stumbling block that we run into when we're doing different things, like right now, some people are listening to me and at the same time listening to me, they're focused on what they're going to do after they finish listening to me. Instead of focusing on this moment and getting the fullness of this teaching. And I know it's it's something that you easily fall into because you say, I got responsibilities after this show. I got to do this. I got to do that. I got to run to the store. I got to buy groceries. I got to take care of the kids. I got to cook. Got to clean. Got to wash clothes. Got to get ready for work tomorrow. Got to get ready for that 9 to 5. And then once you get into the mindset of thinking about the 9 to 5, you think about, man, I got this to do at work. What is the boss going to be upset about? See how the mind will start running once you start thinking about later, how it starts running into a traffic congestion of more thoughts that you got to look at. You know, like you be in the traffic and you got a bunch of cars around you. You trying to get to your destination, but you got a car in front of you. You got a car left and right of you, and your mind is fully distracted. Now all you focusing on is, I'm gonna be late. Instead of using that opportunity in the moment, oh wow, this is traffic. Let me go and pop in one of my motivational audio books or songs or speeches, something motivational, and just use that time where my mind can be taken away from being distracted by the hindrance of being in traffic. Now I can really absorb this information. One of the ways I kill a lot of driving time, and I like driving by myself because not everybody wants to listen to what I want to listen to. And then it's really impolite to turn on something that you want to listen to and other people are not really into. And they're gonna, you could put it on, but you're gonna be distracted because um, you're gonna be seeing them be disappointed and huffing and puffing that you're listening to this stuff. And it could be something totally. I've actually seen it. I played Reverend Ike or I played something positive, and I could see the people in the car not really appreciating what I appreciate. So that's why I like driving by myself, because then I don't have to worry, be distracted by that. I can listen to whatever I want to listen to and absorb the information, go into a whole world of positivity and uplifting words. So back to what I was saying. You already have, all you have is now. Now the choice is, how are you going to spend this moment? Being worried about the next minute or after this is over, or after that moment, or you're going to spend the time on whatever you're doing and invest your attention in that moment and making that the best moment you have. Now think about that for a second. When you try to make this moment, this now, the best moment you ever had, guess what happens? Because remember, I said all you have is now. That's it. What they classify as second or minute is still broken down to it's right now. So if you're totally focused on this moment, this now, and with the intention of making it the fullest, most best time you can have, enjoyable time, right now, what do you have? I, I want to see if somebody get it. In the chat. Put it in the chat. I didn't put on my Telegram. While y'all getting while this speech catches up to the lag that you get from YouTube, um, let me turn on Telegram. Turn it on. And if you want to get on when I put it on the Instagram, sometimes people say they can't hear the people in there. All right. Let's see Instagram. I mean Telegram. All right, let's go back to the chat and see what they say over here. So you get the best moment ever. That's one good answer. But I was looking for something else. If all you have is now, I think he's on point. But I would have said it a different. Indie Circle said you get the best moment ever. Let me see if somebody else. I had another way in my mind that I wanted to put that. If you all you have is right now, and you focus on making this the best, making yourself the best, or whatever task you're making it the best project ever, and you just concentrate on it. And we fall into this. We fall into this sometimes inadvertently, unconsciously. Like think about it when you want to cook and you got to put all the ingredients together. You're really focused on making that meal good. If you're a person who takes pride in their cooking, or if you're working on a car, let's say you're putting a starter in, you're totally focused on getting that started until you can start that car up, or alternator, put an engine in. You're going to be totally focused on that. How I wanted to put it was like this. If you're totally focused on what you're doing and you wanted to make it the best opportunity you have in that moment, in that now, you have an infinite moments of good. You have an eternity, unlimited moments of peace and elevation of the mind. The brother said that. Somebody said that. Your mind is on a wavelength and totally focusing. Nothing else matters. Nothing else coming. It's just like watching a movie that you like. You're totally engrossed in that movie. You don't even know how much time goes by. We've experienced that a lot when we were children, right? We go outside. Today they don't go outside. They on the iPad. But when I was young, we ran out, went outside, played with the friends. We didn't care about time. Only thing we looked for was when it got dark and that light came on. We knew it was time to go in. But while it was light, we made every moment count of having fun in a just like in this state of constant joy. Think about it. When you had a good time with your friends when you were a kid and you was out there. We was out there running, playing, and then we played games, and then we got tired of that game. We ran into another game. We just figured things out on how to make ourselves happy. This is why Christ said, if you could be like these little children, then you can enter the kingdom of heaven. Because what is the kingdom of heaven? What really is the kingdom of heaven? Is this place with pearly gates and you got all these winged creatures and or angels standing there looking all majestic and you hear the music? Is it that place? No. The kingdom of heaven is a constant state of peace, joy, and happiness. Even though there might be chaos going on around you. Think about it. All the stuff when I was playing, we played stickball, we played baseball, we played softball, we rode bikes. You know, when my parents didn't want to buy us a skateboard, we built the skateboard. It wasn't that great of a skateboard. People made fun of us, but it was our ingenuity and imagination to get what we wanted, even though my parents didn't want to buy the skateboard. We figured it out. But what happened to us? What happened to our imagination? What happened to our ingenuity? What happened to our always seeking that constant state of peace and joy? What happened? This is what happened. We allowed ourselves to be programmed to accept negative experiences as truth. That's what we did. This guy did this to me. She did it. He's that. Everything's bad. Oh, the conspiracy over here. This is going to happen tomorrow. You know, there's actually a scripture in the Bible that talks about don't believe in conspiracies. I just found it right before the show. The Bible is saying some stuff. It says here, it's in Isaiah chapter 8, Isaiah chapter 8, verses 11, starting in verse 11. For the Lord spoke thus to me while his hand was strong upon me and warned me not to walk in the way of this people, saying, do not call conspiracy all that this people calls conspiracy, and do not fear what it fears or be in dread. I, I read it again. Y'all want me to read it again? It says, for the Lord spoke thus to me while his hand was strong upon me and warned me not to walk in the way of this people, saying, do not call conspiracy all that this people calls conspiracy, and do not fear what it fears or be in dread. Now, I remember when COVID hit, it was conspiracies running all over the place. We're going to have food shortages. People were making little TikToks and shorts about, we heard this secret information from the military, stock up on food. I mean, it was just, and they just passed that stuff around. But to be honest, a lot of people just making those videos so that people can click on it and give them boost their viewability. Most of the stuff that they were calling conspiracy never came to fruition. Nothing came into reality. So the point I'm trying to make is, if we think on negative things, that's all we're gonna see. It's just like, if you are focused on a red car, and all you're gonna see is red cars mostly, and you'll ignore the rest. The life around us is, for the most part, good. The earth is always trying to give us something good from it, right? You plant a seed, you can grow food. And from that food, animals feed off of different vegetation, and we use them as food sometimes. So if you really take your mind out of the negative space, looking at all the conspiracies, or what we believe might be a famine coming. And see, and this is what the religions of the world, a lot of the religions, mainly Christianity, are teaching, that one day it's going to be this famine. We're not going to have anything. We're going to be suffering. They're going to come after us, and they're going to stop us from doing things. Be, be, but then it also says, they also teach, do not be fearful of those things, because God is going to come in and step in and take care of these problems for you. But how can you not be worried? You hear all of these things. We're going to have this major famine. Am I prepared for this? This is what I say. I say prepare always, just like anything, you prepare to have enough just in case you run out of money, or there is a famine or food shortage. Yeah, you prepare.
But do not be overly concerned with it, because if you know the true power of the God in you, all of that stuff is going to be handled. I mean, people have survived. We survived the Great Depression. We've survived two world wars. Other wars. People have survived these things. Millions of people did not survive, but life continued to go on. So this is why we cannot appreciate our moments, our nows, because we're constantly worried like this about what latest problem is going to arise. Like, we have an election year coming up. Do I believe maybe some strange things is going to happen this year? I probably so. But at the same time, what can I do about it? Only thing I can do about it is concentrate on me, my family, and make sure my world is good. My headspace is good, because if I live in fear of what might happen during the election, I will lose focus on what I'm trying to do in my own home. Our job is, we only have one job, really. And from that one job, many other jobs come. We only have one job, is to get our minds right. My mind is my one job, is to get my mind right. My prosperity, peace, love, and happiness good. Because then everything else flows from that. Javier says, getting in that state of flow, all you can really focus on is one thing. Right. We have there's some people who have a misconception that you can multitask. I can do more than one thing. Yes, you can do more than one thing at once. But they won't that those things won't come to their full potential when you're focused on multiple things. We are supposed to focus on one thing and make it the best, and then move on to the next. Appreciate that one moment. Not, let me do it here. I've done that. Try to do this, and then I get distracted. I'm over here and over here. The next, I've done some of this, some of that, a little bit of that, and nothing is finished by the end of the day. But when I deliberately focus on, I'm going to take this time or this now and do this, that one thing becomes the best thing. And it really doesn't matter if I got to anything else, because I accomplished that one thing that I set my focus on. And we're speaking on focus and what you should be focused on to achieve those higher levels of peace, prosperity, wealth. You must focus solely on yourself. You must look at yourself and see where there is a need to improve. Because all of your negative experiences, all of your positive experiences, all your joyous experiences, all your non-joyous experiences, all your peace, all your times of chaos originate from one place. As above, so below. From the heavens, meaning your consciousness, to below, meaning what you see in your out in the world outside of you, what you are perceiving through these physical eyes. What you perceive in your physical eyes come from the place of what you perceive in your mental eye. It starts in the mental, then the physical manifests itself. Let me show you how powerful you are. Let me look up something first. I want to be accurate. I want to be accurate. That's not what I look for. Hang on. Give me 1 second. So we're gonna get do a little biology lesson here. Look, not really a lesson, just I want to give you a fact to show you how powerful you are, how amazing everyone listening to you, everybody not listening to is, how unique you are. Whether you're a man or woman, you are unique, and you came into this world a winner from the start. See, God don't create losers. Because guess what? All of the losers, all the losers stayed behind before you got here. All the losers that lost, that you won over, stayed behind. They couldn't make it. They couldn't make the cut. So, what I was looking up, in the average amount of sperm release during an ejaculation, we having a little sex education, is 300 million sperm. Average. That's about average. Could be more, could be less. But about average, 300 million. So we're gonna go with the average. So that means you beat out 299 million sperm to be here today. You. All you that's listening to me, all the people that's not listening to me. You, the one individual, the one unique, the one winner. You were number one out of 300 million, 299 million, give or take. If you was just nanoseconds short, you would not be here. If you got bumped out by just one, you would not be here. And what happened to the other 299? 209, they died off. They didn't make it. They weren't strong enough. They weren't determined enough. Not to mention all of the obstacles they got to get. They got to go upstream to get there, to that uterus. Because what happens, that egg has an intelligence to say which one is going to let in, which one is going to open up the door. So that means the egg said, that's the winner. That's the one that's going to come into the world to make a difference. That's the one that's going to live through all of the adversities and become something. That's how powerful you are. Just from that, you were wonderfully made from the very beginning. You were chosen to be here. So, with knowing that you were chosen to be here, what are you going to do with your anointing? What are you going to do with your life? Your life is really this life you've been given in this realm is what is your anointing. You have been anointed to be here. You have been picked. You have been chosen. You have been crowned the God to be here. I mean, when you look at it from that perspective, how can you not see yourself as powerful, special? How? I tell you what happened. You see little disappointments in life. You see things outwardly and that make you turn your attention away from your uniqueness for remembering how special you are. You forgot and you're remembering all of the negative. You're watching videos like conspiracy theories and it's destroying your true self or it's suppressing your power. Y'all do know that negativity, uh, things opposite of you believing your divinity is really what is your kryptonite. That's what weakens you. That's what makes it's your belief in who you really are, what you are, and what you're here to do. It's that belief system. If it's dysfunctional, that weakens you and takes away your power. So who really is in control of your power? Who has that control? You do. I do. I have control over my power. I have 100% control of how powerful I am. Whether I'm going to crawl or I'm going to fly. Remember I told you, my parents, skateboarding wasn't a big thing in the hood, where I grew up, Bedford-Stuyvesant, Brooklyn. But we wanted a skateboard. I saw the little commercial. You see the white kids on their skateboards, and they was at the skateboard parks and stuff. I didn't know of any around where we were, but we still wanted one bad. So we took a piece of wood, cut it up. We had taken some woodworking class where you can cut the wood, put the shellac on and make it shiny. And took remember those old metal skates? So we took the wheels off the metal skates, bolted it onto the board, and we had a square. It was like this square of skateboard. It wasn't even rounded off, but it didn't work perfectly, but it worked. We probably could have made it better the next time. But I'm saying that is that we are the orchestrator, we are the what do you call the conductor, the leader, the king, the queen of our existence, of our what we're wanting to have. But we allow situations, systems to dumb us down. Right? Namely public education, formal religion, theology. They gave us the idea of our existence. You're a sinner, you're this. School, what the idea? Oh no, get this education so you can have a job and you could be a good member of society. That's what you should be striving for. To be like everybody else. To be less than powerful than what you were supposed to be. You came into this world as a winner. So why are you losing now? Because you forgot. You forgot who you are. You forgot your true divinity. You forgot where your true power lies. You place power in people's idea of you and not the power in your truthful idea of yourself. So change the idea of who you are, change your life. Change how you see yourself. Change the idea that you allow out external things control what's inside of you. Change the idea that you need people to validate you in order to feel like you're something. I can tell you, if you wait on people to validate you, you might get it here and there, but for the most part, you are going to come up short and feel empty because people don't care about validating your idea of who you are. Most people are selfish. They're thinking about themselves and what they want to do. That's it. People are selfish. A lot of people, of the worldly mindset are selfish within themselves, and they only think about what they want to do, where they want to go. And even if you on your deathbed, they gonna do what they want to do and put you on the back burner. Very few people are chosen or have the ability to put their self aside and go tend to people in their times of need. There's people that do it, but the large majority, the greater number, that natural affection is cooled off. That natural idea, hey, this person needs assistance. Let me stop what I'm doing and go help them. And when you get that, when you get people like that into your life, cherish that. And the people that don't cherish that, you don't have to be upset or feel some kind of way about it. You don't have to just that's what they doing at that moment. That one day they might elevate and or change and do better. But don't make room for people like that. Because what happens is that will take away from you spiritually. Be of people of like spiritual mind. Be of people that when things get challenging, that they're gonna stay right there with you. Or you, when things get challenging, you're gonna stay right there with people. That person. See, we're not looking for appreciation. Because some people, I want to be appreciated. I gotta be no. If you're gonna be good, you just be good. A lot of times the stuff you do good, some people are not gonna appreciate it. That just comes with the territory of being a good person and being generous and helping people out. That's part of the process of learning how to be like Christ. One of the things is, see, when Christ was being sacrificed, he had the ability to call down angels to stop that immediately and go after all of the people that was attacking him. That one. He didn't do that. He just kind of looked away. And in a way, he removed himself from them. He didn't cast them down and wanted them to cease to exist. He just let them be who they are. And he removed himself physically and delivered himself spiritually. He took his hands off them. Let them live out their own journey of the decisions that they make. Some schools of thought call that karma. The Bible calls it reaping what you sow. There's no, see, when you spend time in judgment of other people of the things they've done to you, that puts you in a dark place. And I've learned that. I've been learning that over the last year. Just sometimes resentment can be your worst enemy than the actual thing that happened to you. No, there's no place for resentment. It's just place for reflection and elevation of yourself. Remove yourself from those situations and surround yourself in situations that promote your highest good within you. Not everybody y'all hanging out is promoting the highest good in you. Some people that have come into my life, they've taught me, hey, I could do better in that area because I see them doing good at it. That's what you're looking for. People that you can be say, I can do better there. Because look at how they present themselves. So naturally, being of service to others. See, the people you hang out should be a self-reflection of where you need to improve. If you're with people and you're constantly thinking about y'all talking about negative things and everybody's broke and everybody's singing woe is me, then they get, that's your reflection. That's going to give you more of those negative things y'all complaining about. But if you're around people and you see them living prosperous, and I'm not saying prosperous as far as money, I'm saying prosperous as far as they have good relationships with their family. Yeah, I can tell you, if you have a good relationship with your inner circle, which is your family, have a really good thing, and not all of them, everybody gets along, that also ties into how well and prosperous you'll be. And men, as the men, we have to be the leaders in that, showing that leadership, showing prosperity leadership, showing peace leadership, showing love leadership. We have to be the love leadership. We have to be the leaders in that. And the ones that is not on that program are gonna leave. They're not gonna listen. One thing I've noticed, when you stop feeding into negative and toxic situations, and you change, those toxic situations leave and the people leave. Those demonic spirits leave. They don't like being around anybody that's trying to be motivational and say, hey, well, self accountability is important. They don't want that. You can see that through YouTube. What videos do people like to watch? They want to watch all the videos that do the pointing of the finger. Right now, it's all the whole rap community is up and raw. They talking about this one. This one's saying this, and this one they're saying that. And then people who are talking about them, they're sitting on a throne of superiority over the people that do these negative things. Then to me, they know better than the other person. Know why I say they know better than the other person? Because they're sitting there talking about it, dredging up the dirt of our community. They just talking. They're not doing anything about it. They just, oh, that one is this. This one's gay. This one's sleeping with this one. They're basically the referees of all the negativity. They directing your attention to look at that negative thing. Look at this negative. Look at that person. They negative. This look how bad they treat they're the referee. There's the one. What do you call what we used to call that when I was in school? Instigators of negativity. See, we should be instigators of positive, wealthy, prosperous, peace, health. Instigators of everything good in those concerns. And the number one thing we need to be instigating is higher forms and thought processes of spirituality. That's what we should be instigating. And then we need to instigate that in ourselves, not on other people. You need to be more. No, you need to be looking in the mirror and say, I need to be more spiritual. Because for my spirituality and my elevation of my spiritual consciousness brings forth and attracts to me more people of that same mindset. Tests will come to see how serious you are about that. So, Seeking Bay says self perception is key. And the facts, no brag. Not sure how to interpret that one. And La Vida says peace to all. Hey, it's been a minute. Hope everything's good. DJL said the thought manifests into reality. Absolutely. There's actually, um, and I've read this before. Give me a second. It says, let's see if I can pull it up. Mhm. Trying to find the right scripture because this concept is referenced in a couple of places. Basically, it's the scripture that talks about things are made from the things unseen, meaning what's unseen is your consciousness, your ideas, what's going on in your head. No one can really accurately read your mind. So whatever you have going on in here is a secret. That's your secret room. That's the secret place where you need to be talking to God within you, the living God. Because from there, all of the things that you're requesting will come. Ask and it shall be given. All right. It's 10:59. Let me see something here. So with that being said, I'm gonna let y'all have the rest of y'all Sunday. Enjoy your rest of your Sunday. Remember to stay focused on those positive things that you want to happen good in your life. And let me, yesterday, my mom came to visit me last week. She had an appointment, but she stayed for the whole week. She just left yesterday morning. And she puts she puts heavy cream in her coffee when she drinks it. So I happened to stumble. She left some leftover heavy cream, and I was watching this video on how to make butter. And basically, you take heavy cream and you shake it up or stir it up or whip it up, and it turns into butter. So I said, let me try this. And it's still in the little cart. And I shook it up, shook it up, shook it up. Took me about 5 minutes to get it thick. Put a little salt in it. And I made homemade butter. Isn't that simple? These things we're paying for. Because I use pure butter. I don't use that margarine stuff. Those things that we're paying for, we could just make it ourselves in a cheaper way. And it'll taste better. Think about it. That's how wonderful we were made. That's why I said we were superstars when we got here. But we have allowed our minds, like in the aspect of food, we've allowed these big companies to make us believe this is the only place we can get our food from them. Let them grow it for us. Let them GMO it and let's eat that. No, God made us, our hands, to create things that are beneficial for ourselves and our family. Anything that someone else is making out there, especially these big corporations, they're only doing it for one thing: profit. And where there is a money motivated or profit driven system, it's not going to make anything in the best interest of the population. It's all about profit. So they're going to throw ingredients in here, they cut costs here. They're going to do this and do that, do that. They're doing what corporations are designed to do. Remember, a corporation is a fictional person. And fictional persons make things fictional for people to consume for that business greater good, but it's not for our good. God made us so that we can be able to do these things. And it only took me 10 minutes to make that. 10 minutes, if that much. It wasn't that long. And I just had it in the thing and I was just shaking it up. Now I could have put it in my little thing and blend it up and make it a little quicker, but put it in the refrigerator so it can get a little hard. And I had homemade butter. I'm gonna go find me some raw milk and I'm gonna make it from that. No more buying butter from these people. And I'm just slowly minimizing that. Now, speaking of preparing, just some ideas before I close out. Someone gave me this idea. Go to, if you got a Tractor Supply near you or a place like that, a feed shop, go buy food grade buckets. And so now I buy big bags. I bought a big bag of jasmine rice and I pour it in that bucket and store all my rice in there. I bought a big bag of flour, put all my flour in that bucket. And then I have lentils in that. Things that I can store in buckets. So if there is by chance a food shortage, you're just setting yourself up to be prepared. But this is not something to be feared. We will get through it. The God in us is created. God is going to take care of his people. And the God in you will take care of his people. You'll be fine. This world, this earth is not designed to be destroyed. It will destroy whoever tries to destroy it first. But it gives them opportunity to get it together before it wipe them on out. Reap what you sow. So with that being said, y'all have peace, prosperity, and extreme wealth to you, your family. Until next time, peace. Peace, prosperity, and extreme wealth to all you guys.
This is Hindsight Radio. I represent it. The information station changing the nation.